here I've redrawn the triangles a little bit smaller and put in another verb. Choose, be choosing, have chosen, have been choosing. And if you remember, we described this as the simple aspect, this is the continuous or progressive aspect, this is the perfect simple aspect, and this is the perfect continuous or perfect progressive aspect. Now, this blueprint, this template, we're now going to add something to it. What I'm going to add is modal auxiliary verbs. So I'm going to put a little line down here, and I'm going to start writing down modals. So I'm going to start with will and the negative, won't, would and wouldn't, can and can't, could and couldn't, may, may not, might, mightn't. I'm using the contractions, but of course you don't have to. And then we can have must and mustn't, shall and shan't, should and shouldn't, ought to and oughtn't to, and needn't. Now, the interesting thing with these is we can combine any of these with any of these four aspects. So we can go will choose, will be choosing, will have chosen, will have been choosing. Won't choose, won't be choosing, won't have chosen, won't have been choosing, etc. So if I tell you that there are 21 modal auxiliaries, including the negatives, so that's really not very many, and just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21, and these can all be combined with these four aspects. So you can multiply the 21 by 4, and gives you how many combinations?
84, I think.
Okay, 84 combinations. We can go one step further than that, because if I draw another line down here, and I hope you can see this, in front of this I'm going to put the personal pronouns. So I'm going to put I, you, he, she, it, we and they. Of course in English we singular you and plural you are the same, so we only need to do it once. I can also combine these, because I can say I will, I won't, I would, I wouldn't, I can, I can't, I could, I couldn't, I may not, etc. You will, you won't, etc. So all of these will combine with all of these, and with all of these, with no change whatsoever. I mean, this is the absolutely fascinating thing, that is absolutely no change. So even if you use he couldn't have chosen, not he couldn't has chosen, which is what a lot of students think, there's absolutely no change. You've got a whole matrix. So I'm not going to ask you to do the sums, but here we've got 7 personal pronouns, here we've got 21 modal auxiliary verbs, and here we've got 4 aspects. So we've got 7 times 21 times 4, and that gives us a total of 588 combinations just on one page, with no changes whatsoever.
That is pretty amazing.
It is amazing, isn't it?
Yes.
It is amazing, so I'm just going to write that up. 588 combinations. Okay? Now that we've got this far, we can start to play with it a little bit. So this is one sheet of A4. There is another sheet of A4, but we're starting with this one. So I'm going to just rub off that. Okay, if we wanted to turn these into just closed questions, like she may not be choosing, or she may not be coming. I mean, this black verb can be any verb, of course. I call it the boss verb. These coloured verbs are the assistants, or, well, of course we could call it the principal verb, the auxiliary verbs, but just boss and assistant seems to work for most people. So we could change this verb, and you could say she may not be coming, or they must be doing something. Now, they must be doing something, they must be, changes to doing. How would I make that into a question?
The auxiliary verb, that
Yeah.
the must is moved to the beginning of the sentence.
To the beginning. And so, in other words, to make a question, all we do, to make a closed direct question, we just move this column in front of this column, and you've got questions.